Bankroll. Yeah. Bang gang. Big bankroll. Whoa. 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 I shoot at the top, aim at the dome. Yeah, she give me top, yeah, she give me dome. And yeah, this off the top. What's good, Bankroll Mafia? We got the final game of the season right here. Not gonna waste no time with this game. Seeing that this game really has no purpose for us, we're gonna look at the roster for the Ravens. A win here, a loss here doesn't really affect us. Either way, we won't be in the playoffs, unfortunately. I'm just gonna give y'all a few highlights from this game. Not really too much of like the smaller stuff. And the bigger thing, the main point of this episode will be the offseason, and that would be after this Baltimore Ravens game. And that's what we be getting into the nitty-gritty of like really adding more pieces to the team to really get into that rebuilding process. Clearly, we had 2 seasons of a losing record that wasn't good, you know what I'm saying, in the crappy division. So we do have a breakout this week. So that is the only positive note we do have for this week. We have Desean Taylor trying to get breakout. Not too sure how I feel about doing that, like as far as like really trying to get him that, so I won't be doing no POV from his breakout. I would say the POVs for like, you know what I'm saying, like superstar or like X Factor development. But yeah, so here's a clip from the Ravens game. Y'all know what the AFC North did to us all season this year, so if you came here thinking you wouldn't expect to see anything different than that, then you came to the wrong spot, man. But Lamar Jackson, showing that he has an arm. He's getting the ball. Mark Andrews on the reception. He's moving the ball 463 yards so far. And that should have been a touchdown, but unfortunately he ran smack into Ross Blacklock, who stopped him right there on the 1-yard line. Wouldn't be surprised if it was a read option. No, it's J.K. Dobbins for the touchdown. And the Ravens get the first points of the game. They probably going to get the second, the third, the fourth, and the last. And look, it's an INT. Marlon Humphreys is just in the right place at the right time. Anthony Richardson clearly is just colorblind, throwing to a purple jersey. And it's a turnover for the Texans. Ravens ball. Xavier Henderson came down. He seen the read option, just came in the wrong angle. But luckily, Christian Harris is right there to get the read option stop. You know, with Lamar Jackson, when he get open field, man, he is deadly. As Petrie dives straight through and gets the tackle on Lamar Jackson, forcing the 4th and 14. Of course, they go for 3 with one of the best kickers in the league, Justin Tucker. And as you know, the CPU just don't miss, so you know how that go. AR-15 looking to find somebody up top, and he heaves it up, and it's an incomplete pass. Pass broken up by a bunch of Ravens in the area. Looking for somebody, finds a receiver. Is Mechie on the right side of the slant, going up top of the field. Can he go all the way? The defenders are fast, and they stop Mechie before he gets a chance to get into the end zone, as he was hawked down by Kyle Hamilton and company. AR-15 then finds a receiver in the end zone. Is Juju Smith-Schuster. I heard somebody say Boo Boo Smith-Schuster. I found that very funny. That was very hilarious. Lamar Jackson doing what he does best, and that's full defenses, and takes it with himself, uses his legs, and makes the defense look silly. It's a flag on the play, but a huge hit by Desmond King, or I believe that was Gus Edwards, holding, so they'll be losing yardage. Not that it matters, because it's Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens versus the low-life Texans, and it's a catch for number 10 of the Ravens. Don't know who that guy is, and he fights his way in the end zone. Tackle made by Stingley, and that's just great. Texans get the ball now as we're down by 10 points. It's 17-7. Mechie fights for the first down. He gets the first down reception. A little bit of showboating going as we trying to, like, you know what I'm saying, at least show that we just are some shit. Marlon Humphreys with another INT, similar to the one he got early in the beginning of the game. And it's not looking good for the Texans. And as we know, every AFC North team, once they get where it needs to go, huge hit by Christian Harris. Once the AFC North teams get where they need to go, one of the toughest divisions in the NFL, man, they just, there it is. It's a really tough bunch of teams, man, depending on who you're fighting. You got to really pray for an injury. As we've seen on the roster, they have a lot of injuries, and they're still just dismantling us. Touchdown, reception caught by Nico Collins. I'm giving these Texans some hope, some life, as Christian Harris is there to blow up the screenplay. And yet you see me jump right to the fourth quarter because not much was going on besides the Ravens just scoring and scoring and scoring. And there's a connection for Juju Smith-Schuster right there over Kyle Hamilton. I'm surprised they didn't hawk him down because Juju is slow as heck. And it's another pass thrown up, intended for Kadarius Toney. Ravens all over that play. Protection right there for the left tackle just did good. You can't lie if you seen that. You got to rewind that if you didn't. And the catch made right there by Brevin Jordan. I think that was Brevin Jordan that was right there. And Richardson trying to take it himself. Tried to take it himself, and he fumbles. These players have no stamina, man. Just like, I should have been turned the corner. If that was Lamar Jackson, though, at this stage of the game, guaranteed he'll be taking that motherfucker to the house, and it's okay. Oh, my gosh. Lamar Jackson hooks up with number 7. And that's all she wrote, guys. There's not too much else to see here as Stingley tries a last chance effort to try to tackle him. It doesn't work. The Ravens are petty. They're going for 2, and they convert. And this is what happens when AFC North teams just
out to his left.
And a nice throw and catch made by Nico Collins at the 2-yard line. Enemy territory, looking to get some more points on the board just for their own pride. And they do it. Brevin Jordan touchdown for the Texans. That would be game right there, guys. 21-35. Score looks like it's smaller than what it really is, but they really outplayed us, man. Let's check these stats. As Bo Nix was in that QB at the end of the game for the Ravens, Lamar Jackson did get hurt. But it didn't matter because he already did what he needed to do before he got hurt. As you can see, like 170 on the ground. I see why you got hurt. You was tired. You got a Charlie horse. Like, it don't make no sense. But now that this last game is out and it's over with, now we can move forward. Sorry about that. Now we can move forward to the part that I've been waiting for. And that's the offseason, guys. Here we are. Let's check the playoffs first. These are the seedings as of right now. The Titans are in there as the 3 seed. The Jaguars are in there as the 5 seed. I'm so mad right now. I'm hating because those are my division rivals and they made it. And the Jaguars will advance. The Ravens are there with the Chiefs, Cowboys, Bucks, Rams, Falcons. Oh, man, I need the Jaguars to get sent home. They cannot go too far. And the Jaguars are playing the Ravens for the AFC title, while the Falcons are playing the Buccaneers for the NFC title. And I swear, if the Jaguars are in the Super Bowl this year, okay, the Ravens and Falcons, it'll be the battle of the birds this year for the Super Bowl. Pro Bowl roster time. Wouldn't be surprised if we had any guys on this team. No receivers. No linemen. No tackles. Oh, got Christian Harris, that middle linebacker. He made the Pro Bowl roster. The lone wolf, from what I've seen. They want to talk to me about. I'm focused on next season. Me and Coach Levy focus on next season. Anything else is not of our concern. And these are the annual awards. Coach of the Year goes to division rival coach. Christian Harris did get Defensive Player of the Year. He had the most tackles in the league this year, like crazily. And Jack Campbell wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. Yeah. Laramie Tunsil gets the best offensive lineman. I think he was in the Pro Bowl too, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, Christian Harris sniffed for best linebacker. Let's check the NFC out. C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson coming in and making their presence felt as rookies this season. And it's a whole bunch of Cowboys and Rams as far as award winners. We got Laramie Tunsil getting an award. We also have Jack Campbell getting a upgrade. I think I said award before. Excuse me, guys. I be all over the place sometimes. Christian Harris gets 2 upgrades for his outstanding season, back-to-back. And that's why this man is a captain. I expect big things out of him in year 3. Want to just put some more pieces around him and make this defense more and more solid. His offense is the big problem. And the Falcons are the 2022 Super Bowl champions. 2023 Super Bowl champions, my mistake. They beat the Ravens 27-24. Desmond Ritter was the MVP. You've seen the stat leaders, award winners over there. These are our season stats right here, guys. No 1,000-yard rusher, but if you was to combine all of my running backs yards together, it's well over 1,000. Um, Too many INTs for Richardson. No 1,000-yard receiver, but we do have Kadarius Toney, who was pushing that 1,000-yard threshold almost. Just was down by like 60-something yards. Christian Harris with massive tackles. Tackle for losses. Sack leader goes to Jonathan Grenard. INT leader is tied with Christian Harris. Check the NFL out real quick. A couple of our guys won't be shown here because for some reason Madden doesn't like to include my team unless it's for. Oh, so they showed Christian Harris actually in the tackle leader position. TJ Watt, tackle for loss of 22. Sack leader is Aaron Donald. Interception leader this year is Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Passing leader this year is Desmond Ridder, man. Good shit, man. For you to be the young buck taking over in the league. Highest TDs was Patrick Mahomes. I bet half of those was no-look TDs. And, of course, give it up for AR-15, you guys, who led the league in INTs. It's an award that we are proudly taking. Joe Mixon led in rushing yards, and I believe rushing touchdowns, too, yes. 24 of those. Good God. Cooper Kupp, does he get a triple crown again? He does. With the most receptions, most receiving yards, and most touchdowns as a receiver. And he just had back-to-back outstanding years. Here are the retirements. We did lose Cam Newton, our mentor for our young quarterbacks that's right there. So that means we will need somebody else right there to help our guys develop a little better, whether that be Mills or Richardson. And we got a chance to re-sign some players. We did not give him one Google contract. We wasn't going to franchise Desmond King despite his last-ditch effort to like really ball at the end of the season. We wanted to go ahead and continue to move forward. And here's a look at the free agency this year, guys. Some big names are on the market. Some big names we're not going to already see where some of this money is about to get spent at. Let me know in the comments or something, guys, if you guys would like want some people in this draft. If this was you in my position, who would you have took based on once you see who I pick and everything. Desmond King still right there if you wanted to try to bring him back, you know. J.J. Watt, maybe he makes a return to Houston. Some storyline stuff right there. You know, Curtis, it's a lot of burners right there, man. A lot of burners at receiver. I think we do need a kicker and punter this year, so it'll be interesting to see who we get right there in free agency. I doubt we'll draft one. A lot of good names, a lot of speed at receiver, man. Imagine if we just signed Miko, Kez Watkins, John Ross, and I forgot who else was in it. 96 plus speed for all them guys. Like that'd just be crazy. And our first offer, we're gonna offer AJ Terrell, the Falcon man himself, who just won a championship, who just got a ring with the Falcons. And we're gonna offer him a contract. Clearly they didn't want to bring this man back. I don't know why. He probably was a big part of their success this year. And Gabe Davis, who we know with the Buffalo Bills in real life is an absolute sneaky monster. A great number 2 receiver. Caleb Von Chason can help us in the pass rushing game. We think we can use him to help us out in that aspect. So we're going to offer him. And Isaiah Simmons, who we don't really need in the middle, but we do want to see what we can do with Jack Campbell and Christian Harris to see how we can make these guys share the field if they accept. Jake Elliott seems to be a nice kicker who isn't too. He's, you know what I'm saying? He's old, but he still has the leg we need. And then we have Blake Gilligan, who also is a punter that we found interesting to use, and offer him a contract as well. Let's hope that we get a couple of these guys. These are the main guys we're targeting. And we land AJ Terrell, Gabe Davis, Isaiah Simmons, Jake Elliott, and Caleb Von Chason. They are all now Houston Texans. Welcome to the squad. Nice doing business with you guys. And J.J. Watt was a sneaky signing that I offered to get the storyline going with J.J. Watt making a return to Houston for his last years to go out with a team that ultimately brought him into the league, man. We'll see if he can help this defense out before he maybe puts the cleats up one last time. This is looking at the 4th mock draft of this season. Of course, we would have had our first round pick. We would have been picking up there in the top 5 spots, but we don't, so we'll be down here. They got us projected to get a tight end, which I know I wouldn't be doing. Kadarius Toney, 5th-year option is here, and you know Boney Toney deserves it. He broke out a superstar, so I think, you know what I'm saying, I think we want to keep him long term. You know what I'm saying? The Giants didn't want him clearly, so we take him off their hands. And he's became a good weapon for us. In the fifth mock draft, the final mock draft for this season, to see where most likely teams will be picking at, because the mock draft is pretty much true to form, besides user, of course. And we'll take a look at some of these guys that I actually have interest in. They got us picking Brian Burns at right tackle. We can use another offensive line depth piece, but this year I have been looking at a couple other guys. So these are the league signings and free agency. A lot of big names are going certain places. Oh, the Falcons got their replacement. They got Cheetah Bear Woozy to go there. It's not no AJ Terrell, but hey. And a lot of teams are stacking up, trying to watch for my division rivals right here, man, because those are the guys. Cameron Curl, Darnell Mooney to the Panthers, Jordan Fuller to the Panthers. They went shopping. A lot of teams spent that bag this year. The Steelers, my team, I love it. I see them over there upgrading, adding more pieces over there, trying to get their squad together. Matt Ioannidis to Tennessee. It's going to be interesting year 3, fellas. Like, I think Jalen Hurts to the Lions. Ooh. I wonder which teams this year going to draft a quarterback. Saying that this year we don't really need one. We got our guy AR-15 who is still developing. Yes, he had endless INTs, but it's all a part of the process and growing as a rookie. And Madden is just crazy as hell when it comes to throwing INTs. These are the focus guys. We're focusing on 3 running backs. We're going to invite those guys for a personal look. And we're going to offer Tavari Thomas to the Titans for Hassan Haskins, which was the main piece we wanted. I like Hassan Haskins. I like his size and his build. We have a look right here at Tony Lafferty. Decent quarterback who's projected to go in the top 5. Got Mike Knight. None of these guys have any kind of wheels on them, but they do have some good accuracies. Got Ben Woodard, projected to be the best and come out of this draft. Oh my gosh, ratings look good. Don't know where everything else will land up and be, but Sam Andrews, right tackle, projected to go top 5. Definitely a good looking player as well. And lastly, out of the top 5, we got Demarcus McGee, who has excellent stuff over there as well. Finesse moves on A, yeah. I saw the running backs. I looked at Daryl Nichols because we had him scouted out at 90. He's definitely a well-rounded back in my opinion. Kentrell Sherman is also another well-rounded back who we had scouted at 90%, so we have a little bit more to see. And these guys right here are just fast. 4.26 speed, but he's only 50% scouted. And some of that stuff don't know. I can't really pinpoint where he would land. Another burner at running back. Got Marcus McIntosh. And we also got Clyde Jackson, who has a 4.36 speed. And like a lot of these guys are just fast, man. And we would love to have that speed back in the backfield. We got the strength. Esteban Garcia is an interesting left tackle that we might could land. And Kerry Northcutt is also another tackle that we was looking at to see who we can add as a depth piece. Like, look at that. Come on now. Some of these guys got A across the board. Tyree Whitlock, another. Look at the ratings, man. These young bucks definitely coming into this draft looking good. Brian Burns, who they have us projected to take right now, I wouldn't be mad, you know? I wouldn't be mad. Deshaun Barton, the right tackle. Jake Sheldon, a right guard, who has some good stuff right there as well. We got Jake Hart, man, at center, with some good stuff too. That had our eye looking at him. Got right end Sean McDougall. Yes, Ben Woodard is the best one in this class, they say. Left outside linebacker, we got Devon Kitchens, my mistake. We got right outside linebacker Jamion Bacon, who I definitely like. I like him. He's expected to go to the second or third round. But P.J. Carter really caught my eye. Yes, a lot of his stuff is scrambled around, but the skills, man. Josh Saban, same. The skills on the left side of the screen was definitely, it caught my eye. Got cornerback Greg Coleman. I mean, we did just lose Desmond King, but we did pick up AJ Terrell. And we got Jeff Flynn right here. We just wanted to see if we get somebody to just add on to the depth, man. Let's look at the top 10 right there. And a last look at the mock draft to see what couple of guys I just showed you that I like are potentially going. Because a lot of these guys are projected to go way before I pick. And that just wanted to see if I need to move up for anybody. You know what I'm saying? Have my game plan set before I enter the draft. Just one look. And like 3 of the players that I really want are definitely shown to go. And the Eagles Get DeMarcus McGee. Giants, Tony Lafferty, the first QB off the board. Mike Knight, the second QB off the board to Chicago. Likely to sit under Justin Fields. Ben Woodard, the best end going to North Carolina. Sam Andrews with going to the Vikings. Esteban Garcia to the Patriots. They trying to protect Mac Jones. Curry Northcutt to the Jets. Shaquille White to the Lions. Deshaun Barton to the Cardinals. Brent Scummer to the Seattle Seahawks. Dwayne Hayes to the Washington Commanders. Tyree Whitlock to the Colts. Brian Burns to the Lions. We was not going to be able to get him. They lied. Mock draft lied. That's the first time in a while. Eddie Spellman to the Dolphins that the mock draft has lied. Troy Miller to the Los Angeles Chargers. Jalen Waddle to the Broncos, an interesting receiver I was looking at as well. Sean McDougal to the Saints, and that was our pick, and we would have probably landed that man if they didn't pick up before us. And P.J. Carter is our guy. We had talks on him. We called him on the phone. We said, man, look, you is the one. We need you as Jamie and Bacon goes right behind us to the Titans. Really interesting. If we would have picked Jamie and Bacon, they might have got P.J. Carter instead. So, going to look at a couple more of these first-round picks here before we start going straight to just focusing on just the Texans picks. As the only picks that really matter, we'll look at all the draft recaps of our division rivals in the NFL to see, like, everybody's overalls and, like, the best players rated, stuff like that. As the Jaguars get Reggie Thornton. And our pick is coming up next. Oh, Desean Mckenzie, the 4.26 back, goes to Atlanta, to the team that just won the ship, to the team that just lost their best cornerback to us in free agency, and we will settle for Clyde Jackson instead. Welcome to Houston, H-Town. It's time to hustle. It's time to grind. Let's see what else we can add to this board as we go and stick around a little bit. The first few picks, you know what I'm saying, a couple good players still being around this area as Kentrell Sherman goes. And Daryl Nickel finally goes. Maybe he wasn't as well-rounded as I thought he was. And we would draft Quandre Capers. He's hitting dev. Right outside linebacker, welcome to the squad. We got Bryce George, left tackle. Wasn't that good as I thought he was going to be. We got Monty Wright, another thing. We'll trade the rest of our picks away with his fifth-round pick at least. That's all we really had. And here's a look at our draft class. P.J. Carter. Good traits in my eyes. We definitely going to work with him. Day one starter. He don't really like a couple of our things over there as motivation tags, but we'll work on that. It's Clyde Jackson, 94 speed. Something we really need. Both of them guys don't really like their motivations don't really seem that happy for Houston. So we got to win some games for these guys that want to stay long term. And we'll look at Jamie and Bacon, who went to the Titans, who also was hitting dead, but only a 70 overall. So I think we made the good pick, picking P.J. Carter over this guy. And we'll look at their next best pick, which was Dion Gales, a halfback. And we look at the Colts now. Look at a few of their best picks. So Tyree Whitlock, left tackle, going to the Colts. We got Josh Dockery, a tight end, going to the Colts, 73 overall. And we also have Devon Rowland, 76 overall, 97 strength at D tackle, man. Dominic Barton as well. They drafted a running back as well to complement behind Jonathan Taylor. And we'll look at the Jaguars now. Reggie Thornton, free safety. 74 overall, 90 speed. They also got DeAndre Proctor. So I guess everybody in the AFC South this year drafted a running back. They also got Joey Fry, a receiver. Not that fast, but still looking good. And we'll look at the top players that was drafted. We got Reggie Mcgee. Tony Lafferty, the first QB off the board to the Giants, 96 throw power. It's a big standout right there, 72 overall. Mike Knight, 71 overall, 97 throw power. These guys got a cannon on them. Ben Woodard, the best end, hitting dead, 73 overall. Not that good. Not that good. I know the video's probably pretty fast for you guys. You know what I'm saying? You can pause if you need to, like, see certain stuff. I wanted to, like, not have the video be as long. And we're just looking at a couple of guys' overalls and speeds going down. Check that out. And this draft class was stacked with a lot of talent. Desean Mckenzie, man, went to the Falcons. Okay, I'm not mad. He had the same speed as my back has. And I think it will be a battle for the backs this year in my own camp with the Texans and in the AFC South division. But that'll be it, y'all. Preseason videos are coming out for year 3. We'll get that started out soon. Hope you all enjoy year 2, man. Thank you all for staying through. Coming better and bigger year 3, man. So stay tuned, man. H-Town. It's time to hustle.
Paper route to the money, that's the only way I go. Cause being broke, it ain't funny. Trust me, boy, yeah, I know. That's one reason I won't go.